Cody Michael, everybody! Oh, how are you guys doing? Good. I'm going to do a few little things for you guys, and then you guys are going to get to see Ben Harkins, and I'm very excited about that. You guys okay with that? There we go. I'm trying to do better because I've been working with a therapist. I'm trying to do better about not self-deprecating, because I was about to be like, are you guys okay with that offer? You know, like, you're going to see somebody, and then I'll be here first. Is that okay if you guys... And then, no, I'm fucking here, and this is my show, and so, you know, whatever. Thank you. I like therapy. Therapy's been really helpful. I was in the New York Times recently. Yeah. I was, because I used to go, I saw this therapist, we used to go hiking, and so we used to go outside and talk about my problems outside, you know, because I was like, I need attention, so let's go the most public place you could be. And then I got insurance, my insurance changed, so I went to somebody new, but she reached out. She's like, the New York Times actually reached out about this ecotherapy thing. I was curious if you'd be interested in like doing, they want to interview people, your former client, so, you know. I was like, yeah, sure. So I got interviewed for the New York Times, and then we did like a photo shoot. And I thought it was going to be like a little back page, like through the internet type of, you have to like really dig for it. But like it was on their front page of their Instagram and on their Facebook. And I had like friends reaching out going, oh my God, that's you. And I do comedy. And the only thing people have seen me in is me talking about my problems to a professional. And that hurt me because I feel like a lot of those friends were just like, oh, you did it. Like, you made it. You finally... And I'm like, what about all the jokes that I put out on the internet? They're like, no. You finally talked to somebody about your problems. And I'm like, I just want to be known for being funny. They're like, no, get help. It felt weird. I was just like, I knew someday. I always had a suspicion that one day that my complex PTSD was going to get me in the New York Times. That's what I thought. And it was funny because I don't know if you know David Alan Grier, but he was like a very famous comedian. He was in Living Color, but kind of 90s to 2000s. And so he commented on the thing. He's like, oh, fuck, now I got to go hiking every time I have a session. And I was just like, listen, David Alan Grier, you don't have to, you get to. And he's like, oh, hell nah. And I thought that was funny because I know who he is, and it was funny. And I was posting all these people who were commenting on it, and they were saying things like, I would go hiking, just not with the guy in the photo. And I was like, that hurts me inside, but luckily I've been doing the work. And then other people, I swear to God, it was the same cluster of things. Nobody's fucking original anymore, by the way. Everybody they go, they think they're the funniest thing, because it was all like, not with that guy, or is everybody going like, who's gonna, like, half of the comments were just like, he would kill you, the other comments would like, she would kill him, you know, and so we're trying to figure out who's gonna kill who in this like state park. It's not like super... The thing is, too, like, the pictures look nice, but it's, like, not out in the middle of nowhere. And we're just like, how did you protect yourself in that? And I was just like, we were off the side of a freeway. That doesn't actually help that. But, yeah, and then and then the other people, it was just, like, 5 comments that were just like, white people. And I was like, fair. And then the others were just like, I like the other ones because they were just like, oh, so no office, but they're still charging you the same, right? You know? And just cynics, a bunch of fucking cynics. And I was like, no, she actually has an office, and we go to it sometimes, so I get charged the same, but sometimes I get to sit down inside. That's how I'm feeling. And it was weird. But then I posted the thing about David Alan Grier, and everyone's just like, dude, some people, I don't know why they have to say such mean things. And I was like, he's a comedian, a very famous one. And then they were like, oh, okay. So, I don't know. Life's weird. Life's weird. I've been, it's almost spring, you know, like in a few more years. We'll be in spring. I've had a really hard winter. Especially like I got a new job, which was nice. And then I like moved out of the house I was in for like 8 years, which is nice, but stressful. And then my dog got this double ear infection. As soon as we moved, and was like bleeding on the pillow. It was so sad. And then I know. And then I got COVID. I got COVID after rolling my ankle. This was over 3 weeks. I got COVID, I think from rolling my ankle, actually. I think I was doing fine, and then I did this very heroic thing where there was trash that needed to be taken out. And so I took out the trash and stepped sideways, and now I'm broken forever. And I've been really in it, and then it was raining, and then the ice storm came, and it all happened, and I was feeling really fucking miserable, but then I went outside the other day because I heard this noise, and it was and I'm sitting on my couch, and it's quiet, and then outside I hear, and I was like, does somebody have the TV on? And I went outside, and I swear to God, there was a squirrel giving a speech on the fence. I don't know how to describe it other than there was a squirrel. There were no other squirrels around, so he was just rehearsing. But he was on the fence and doing gesture. It was like, and strutting. A squirrel was strutting. And I don't know what the fuck he was saying, but I understood how Hitler took over Germany. I understood it. I was like, but he's very charismatic, And he could be saying some fucked up fascist stuff where he's just like, and pistachios are the only true pistachio nuts, nobody, no mixing nuts in their culture here. We want the pure, I don't know, but he was just, and I believed for the first time in a decade. I had nothing before, and then all of a sudden, this squirrel out there just practicing, and I couldn't find him out. I couldn't find his crowd. There was no, I scoured the internet. I was just like, was there a squirrel rally anywhere around Portland or the surrounding areas in the past week or so? Proud Boy squirrel, though. Or so, maybe he's a good squirrel. Maybe he was a Bernie Sanders squirrel. He's like, we should share our acorns, and But he was his head was up though, not down. Because as Bernie Sanders, when you have somebody who understands reality, they put their head down. Ideologues and fascists, they always go, ah! Realists, we go, look. But it doesn't sell tickets to, the future or whatever. All right, I gotta go soon to bring up your headline, but I want to talk about, I came back from a trip. I landed at the airport, so I called an Uber, and then this guy showed up, and he was very nice. He had just, he'd been in Portland for about 8 months. He was from Kenya. We were talking about, where he came from, what he was doing in Portland. It was great. It was a nice conversation. I'm trying to be friendly. I had the longest day imaginable, and then, but I'm trying to pull it together to be like, hey, yeah, welcome to town, and it was good. And we had this great chat, and I was like, nice meeting you. Good luck out there. And he took off. And then a friend was like, hey, we're over here. We're at this night market. So I was like, oh, I'll meet you there. So I went inside. I freshened up, which means I put on deodorant. And then I looked in the mirror and I went, what's happening to you? And then I went on the app like most people do, and I looked at Lyft and Uber to see what was cheaper. And so I called a Lyft, and then it was the same guy. The same guy showed up. And then I get in the car and he goes, why did you go with Lyft this time? And I was like, no. This guy, I'm sitting there going, welcome to America, welcome to Portland. Oh, you're gonna have a great time here. Get the fuck out of, I need a different company to use. And I was trying to explain to him because I was like, it was just cheaper. But then in my head, I was just like, don't tell him you're trying to fucking just shortchange him out the gate. To be like, I'm sorry, but that $1.50, really, I don't want you to have to feed whatever you're feeding right now. I need you, I want to pay bare minimum for you driving me across town so I could get drunk right now, okay? And it was the weirdest, and I'm trying to be friendly about it. I'm just like, oh, this, but I don't think he believed me. I think he was like, yeah, fuck this place. And then so, I don't know. I was hoping you guys would find that funnier. I was like, you could end on that and then bring out that. And then you guys were like, no. Try writing before. I was like, all right. All right, I'll do these 2 quick ones and then we'll bring them out, whether or not you guys like it. It was funny. I was talking to a group of my female friends recently, and we were talking about dicks, like we do. And it's funny because there's all the talk, like it used to be in like the 90s and the 2000s. You're like, that guy's got a small dick or whatever. That's the insult. And then, and that's what people do when they see somebody with like an obnoxious car. So they go, that truck, oh, look at that giant fucking truck. That guy's probably got a tiny dick, right? Like that's what everybody says about it. But like, I don't know if that's necessarily, like, I don't think we should use that as an insult anymore. Not because the body shaming part of it, but just because like, I think like big dicks aren't necessarily great on their own. Based off the sampling that I've talked from friends, there's like an upper limit where they're just like, after that, it's too much. They're like, I saw the biggest dick that I've ever seen in my life, and I had to like prep down for it and go like, all right, buddy. Like they had to go one-on-one with it and go, I'm gonna do this so I could tell my friends that I took it, but this isn't something that I want on a daily basis, right? I need practice. I need to just put, it's like skydiving. You're like, just once. Let's do this once. And then take an Advil. And nobody likes that. So when I see like the guy in a giant fucking truck, right? You're just like, I'm like, that guy's probably got a giant dick, right? But he's not gonna be able to park in a Trader Joe's parking lot, right? Because that's what you want. You need it to be functional. And that guy, I just imagine the guy with a giant dick driving around a tiny Trader Joe's parking lot going, but nobody wants this. They want something, they want the Prius, and I'm just like, I got a Prius, Don't ask which model, but then you get in there. And I'm like, I can find a parking spot if you really need me to, I'm not gonna have to wait with my blinker on at the corner of the parking lot for 30 minutes. I'm a regular dick guy, Chase, he says to himself. He goes, Chase, stop writing jokes about dicks. Try to be creative, try to lean into something a little nuanced, a little different. Write about your Lyft driver being your Uber driver. Challenge yourself. They'll appreciate it. They'll see the nuance in it. They'll love it. They'll lean in. I think one of the biggest problems I have with these millionaires and billionaires going into space is that everyone says the same thing about them when they're mad about them going into space. They're always just like, these fucking millionaires, they could be spending all their money to feed people, but instead they're making these rockets that are these just like proxy dicks. They just look like these dicks that they want to shoot into space, whatever, right? And I get the wanting to feed people thing, but that part always pisses me off when people try to say that these guys are just making up for their dick size with a rocket, right? Because if you know anything about shapes, we have like 4 of them. And that is the only shape that's good for going into space. All right, that is the only shape that's good for going into space is something that's shaped like a dick, right? You cannot shoot a vagina-shaped thing into space because the drag alone would keep it grounded, all right? You go to SpaceX and you try to shoot a vagina, it's not gonna do it. And nobody said that about the submarine, but the submarine, if you shaped like that a vagina, that thing would have survived. There wouldn't be 4 dead men right now because they made that a little chody dick, and then they didn't make the vessel because the vagina's supposed to take a lot of pressure, and this thing would have gone down there. We would have had a child would be alive today, you guys. And these are the reasons why I think Trump's gonna win in 2024. I'm not voting for him, but these are the stupid thoughts I have, and there are people who are dumber than me. And so that's it. You guys, that's been my time. You guys ready for your headliner?